Okay, welcome everyone. MXLink Live, a special, very special guest today. Welcome Stefan Everts. Not really need of an introduction, but I'll say it anyway. 10 times world champion, 101 GP wins, and this record stands to the day. We're now in an exciting time for the Everts family with a third generation racing GPs. Stefan has his father Harry achieved success winning 4 world championship titles. Stefan followed suit and achieved an astounding career. And now we have his son Liam, which whether we will ever see 3 generations and all 3 winning GPs, I don't know. But welcome, Stefan. I'm most grateful for your time, and and it's pretty special for me as well. Speaking with you, we've spoken a few years ago. I think we had a Kiwi racing over in Europe under your expertise, and
Right.
that's where we first met. So yeah, the friendship has continued over a number of years.
Mhm.
Let's start with your family and your father Harry, and then yourself racing a successful career, and now Liam. How does it feel being in this position, having the third generation racing world class championship motocross?
Well, yeah, it's very special in some way. In some other way, yeah. I mean, we've been grow up with this, and it's also in some ways it's quite normal for us. Uh, I grew up on the racetracks when my father was racing back in the 70s and the 80s, and for me it was obvious that I would become a racer. I only have seen motorcycles around me since I was a baby, and it's a bit similar with Liam. You know, he also grew up between the bikes, and yeah, it was also a bit obvious or normal that he would also start racing. And of course, it can be possible that you have different interests, but uh, he had the interest for the motorcycle quite on a young age when he was nearly 4 years old. It all started for him, and he started riding bikes. So yeah, he just came through, and he continued to have the passion. The passion only got bigger through the years. And now he's 15 years old. He's doing the EMX 125 championship, and it's so far we had a good start of the season. Unfortunately, now everything stopped with the COVID-19 coronavirus. So we are on hold for the moment, and we will see how things go. But it's of course a quite interesting life that I had, seeing my father race and going through my own career, and now repeating it again with Liam is special and nice.
Yeah. Looking at that relationship and that strong bond that you had with your father, not just family but through the sport itself. It When you look at clips, it's evident that it's the sport has united and kept the family together. Um, do you feel that same bond with Liam at this point in time?
Yeah, we have a really good bond. Actually, it's even better than that what I had with my father. My father is coming from a completely different generation, and communication between us was difficult, was not easy, and I was also always a boy who went directly in defense towards him with all the the tips and tricks that he was trying to tell me and teach me. So there was a lot of discussions in the past between Liam and myself, it's a lot better. Our communication got better the last years. Um, and it's also something that I've learned and seen when I was together with my father, that this is something we have to do better than what I had with my dad. Our communication between Liam and myself needs to be better and more effective, even more effective. But there are certain basics that sometimes you have to uh, tell them straight to the point and be hard and I have to say, yeah, you have to, sometimes it needs to, when it needs to happen, I will do it. But in general, it's only better.
Yeah, which is nice. I'll just bring in a clip here of Harry when he was young, and and yourself, and then it'll follow on through the story that where you are with Liam as well. So here's Dad.
Mhm.
You can see how even with the different generation of raising a family within the sporting arena. Uh, Harry's love and affection to you was no less than what yours is for Liam. There's just a different change in perspective, I suppose, on how you want to bring up your children. Would that be fair?
Yeah. I think the basics, what my dad did to me and what we are doing to Liam, the basics are the same. Uh, we try to raise them in a good way that they appreciate and they have respect for things in life and be polite and gentle. All these kind of things are very important for us. Um, so but yeah, you do all you can for your kids. Everybody who has a
Mm,
family does that. That's a natural thing that just started the day that the kids are born. Then you do all you can to make a good life, to that your kids have a good life and they make the right choices in life. And that's sometimes not always easy. As soon as when
yeah.
they start to have their own mind and they're gonna start to make their
Mm,
own decisions, then it's coming a difficult time, and then it's slowly time to say goodbye to each other in some way. But until now, Liam is 15. He's in normally in a difficult age, but so far he's been a
mm,
really good boy, and he's doing he's putting a lot of work and training in what he has to do, and he's every day same motivated to go out and do his physical trainings, whatever. He just do what he needs to do, and that's really nice to work with. So at the moment,
yeah.
there are not a lot of discussions in this house, and when I tell him this and that, he will listen and he will do it. So that's nice.
Yeah, yeah, and it shows the respect that Liam has for mum and dad as well. Um,
Yeah, that's really important. And that's something we will keep pushing, even when hopefully he will get more and more success. That we will keep pushing, and that way that he stays with his 2 feet on the ground, and he keeps having respect for the people around him and everything else.
do you think, just looking at your own career racing, do you think the experiences that you learnt through through the challenges that you faced, just in racing in general, um, there are times where you stand on the podium, but these are quite short lived. There are many times when you're sitting in the trailer thinking that didn't go to plan. Um, what could you say were your hard won learning experiences throughout your racing career?
I think at the beginning was losing was a tough thing for me to deal with. I've lost a couple of championships, 92 and 93, 94, a couple of times against Greg Albertine. and those were very tough years for me. How to deal with um, being how you say that I've lost those years. It was tough for me to deal with it. So I've learned that throughout the years how eventually deal with it. And when I lost again from Tortelli in '98, it took me just 1 week to get over it. And then I just put a point behind it and I said, listen to myself. After 1 week, we start the new season, and '98 is finished for me, and we look forward in a positive way, which I didn't do in '94. I was months and months. I was actually so disappointed and didn't want to race and train anymore. So yeah, that teached me a lot. And those certain things you have to just learn by yourself, and it's sometimes hard
Mm,
to that people tell you that's how you have to deal with it or how to live with it. Um, so yeah, also injuries. I mean, I had a lot of hard injuries, and some injuries I wanted to come back too soon. I made just a mistake
mm,
of making it worse, and I struggled and struggled. And other years, I just took my time and recovered well and did a really good prep, and then come back strong. And that was a lot better.
mm. When you did hit, that peak on the 450 in the MX1 class, could you feel a different change within you because you had already gained that success of those first, 1, 2 titles, and you felt there was a momentum there that you could tap into? Is that how you kept driven, or was it just the personal character inside you that still wanted to achieve more?
Well, I had a lot of success in the middle '90s when I won 3 titles in a row, and at that time, I kind of also lost the pedals a little bit. I started to become a little mini rock star, and then yeah, I lost from Tortelli, and I got a big injury in '99 and 2000, and those were really tough times that put me really back down to earth with all the things, and then. I had still so much drive inside me to come back, and I came back in 2001 as a complete different person with a different mentality, and I yeah I changed a lot, and I had a good team behind me, made a good decision to go to Yamaha Rinaldi,
Mm,
and uh, and those years which were coming, they were the best years of my career, uh, because yeah, I was a different person, but I still knew how to ride a bike, and I still had the passion and the ambition, to be the best, and I was still not done racing. So yeah, that just uh, actually that teach me a lot. Those years of injury and losing, those
mm,
made me so much stronger to come back
mm.
stronger than ever.
Yeah. Um, if you took one particular strength of your character, would it be the fact that no matter how many challenges are placed in your pathway, there is a way of overcoming if you rethink, if you reset?
Yeah, sure. Sure, there's always a way to overcome it. It's just
Mm,
uh, to give yourself time and find out where the problem is. Soon as you know where the problem is, you can start working.
mm,
Then
mm,
phase one is in,
yeah,
then phase two starts, and that's just to
mm,
work on that phase that is weak and not strong enough. And then you go to phase three and go and do it on the track and succeed. Uh, but a lot of people, or a lot of they don't even get through phase one, so they will never
mm,
get to phase three, and that's the finishing touch. Uh, so it's the trick is really to find out phase one where the problem is, and then
mm,
find the solution to the problem and then solve it.
yeah. Do you think those are the words just of a champion? It it's is it out of the possibility of an average athlete to achieve, or do you actually think that everyone has that potential to work through a process.
No, I don't think everyone has that potential. You know, I've worked with a lot of riders in the past, and a lot of them they had a lot of good things to do, but they didn't have the complete ingredients to make it eventually. And are these the things that only champions have? I think it's not only about champions, but also people in business that just keep on looking, thinking, uh, finding a way to get through it, and find a solution to it. They will never give up. Um,
Mm.
and some, they will just keep making excuses for things, and with excuses you will always be the loser.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Dirk Grubel, a couple of years ago, I asked him a similar question, and he said, some riders have all the talent, but they don't have the work ethic. And some riders have all the work ethic, but don't so much have the talent. And he said, when you find a rider with both, he said, then you have a winning combination.
Yeah, that's true. um, for me, Joel Smets is a perfect example. You know, he was not the most talented rider, but he had a lot of character and ambition. But he had a strong character to fight against riders who had a lot more talent and who are a lot better. But eventually, also win 5 championships, uh, and he achieved a lot. So from my side, I was a very talented rider. I learned to work hard, and I put all the things right together. So that made me become a 10-time champion. Um, but it doesn't mean that you're not as good as a Ken Roxon or good as a Ryan Villaporo, that you not be able to have success. There's still a possibility to make success even when you are not that talented.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Do you think that 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 character of fighting for success in your professional life crosses over into your personal life, Stefan? Is there a point of conflict where you don't leave racing behind and you're inside home with family, or have you managed to achieve a balance over
Well,
the
it's
years?
it's not it's not easy because, yeah, I lived nearly 20 years as a racer, and then the normal life starts. So especially for my wife Kelly, she she tried to bring me to become a bit of a normal person, and that's not easy. It's not easy if you live 20
Mm,
years this lifestyle, and everything is just focused on you. I
mm,
decide this, I decide that,
mm,
and now you have to learn to deal with your kids and my wife and friends, and so
mm,
it's not easy for her. It's sometimes tough, but I work on it. I do my best. I can
mm.
only do my best, and that's what it is. And some things will never change, and probably
Yeah.
that's also that's the difference what I've made during my career, and that's a different person I am also in my normal life. Still
Mm,
now, uh, I will not be a regular guy from the street who works in the bakery.
mm,
I'm different in that way also because we travel so much. You know, our lifestyle has been very intense. Yeah, I mean, you went through a lot of injuries. You have seen a lot of things happened.
mm,
So for us, some things happens. Like for example, this situation now, it's really bad. It's really serious. But I mean, we've dealt with a lot of things in the past, and
mm.
I think for normal people, regular people, this thing, what's happening now, the coronavirus, for them, it must be very hard and very intense to deal with it and live with it. For us, yeah, we adjust to it and try to be safe and stay healthy and as good as possible, and we wait and see what happens next
Mm.
week or in a couple of months.
It does raise the point that racing is is generally an uncertain possible scenario and the best result, but there is that little bit of uncertainty that racing won't go how you want it to go. Um, this that type of sport and the years of dealing with it, week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out, no doubt prepares you for the circumstances that we're in now.
No, nothing. No, nothing. And it's correct. In racing, it's very hard to plan. It's some days it's like in hours. In 1 hour time, we can drive up to France, or we are driving up to Holland, or we're just going to Lommel to go riding. I mean, so our lifestyle, yeah, is not really long planned forward. Yeah, we know the races which are coming. At this moment, we don't know. They just keep delaying and delaying, and I really hope that we still can do some racing still this season.
Yeah.
Let's hope so. Also for the whole industry, we need the racing going on, and manufacturers and so on. So it's not a really positive, good situation for the whole economy and everything. So yeah, it's our world is in that way very very different, let's say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm just going to bring in a clip here of you. I think this was 2006. Would that be correct? Because you're on the podium. And did you
Yeah,
say Leon would be two? Would that be
yeah,
correct?
that's 2006. Yeah, 6th of August.
Okay. Okay. Now, just looking ahead at moving forward to this year, um, the effects of contracting malaria would have been another complete life changing event. It was incredibly serious for you. The severity of the disease, and the recovery process. I don't know how you deal with such a thing, Stefan. You've had you've had you've had years in your racing career with those type of challenges, but it would be fair to say this was a totally new type of challenge for yourself. Um, how how have you managed to make step by step progress, I suppose?
Well, I haven't made a lot of steps during the last year. The steps were really really small. They were not even baby steps. Now 3 weeks ago, I did another operation on my feet to try and have less pain while walking. I'm still, yeah, suffering a lot with my feet, and this was a different doctor I went to, like a third, let's say, quote, or a third doctor to give me his idea, and he came up with some good points to do and to change. So I said, okay, let's do it as soon as possible. So I'm now recovering from that. It's since a couple of days it's starting to go a little better, and I think
Okay.
eventually what he did now will help me, and will help me to go through life a bit more easier than it was the past years. It's been very very strange. I woke up from my coma and you don't know what happened, and
Mm,
then every day you learn something new. This is what happened, and this is this is can be, and like this and that. So I had a lot of operations last year. They had to amputate a lot of the toes, so I lost 8 toes in totally. Um, and they did it all in steps. So many surgeries, many recoveries during the last year, and at the end, I still was struggling a lot with feet pain. So yeah, big part of the racing from Liam put my mindset on something else except
mm,
the pain on my feet, and so this helped me a lot to kind of put the bullshit on the side and go to the races, even with pain. I had a bicycle to go around the track. That helped me a lot, so I could basically go everywhere and see everything, but on a bicycle, so that I didn't have to walk. So I find solutions for the problem, and I will suffer for the rest of my life with my feet. That's for sure. I realize that, but I'm trying to reduce the suffering. So, and I think we made a good step now with that last operation. But for sure, what I've learned during my racing career helped me a lot to overcome the difficulties from the past year.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And the positivity of Liam racing, can I ask, was it of his own free will and desire to pursue the sport, Stefan? I mean, given what you had gone through, Liam may have chosen, no, I just want to have a normal family with mum and dad. I don't want to get on the bike, because he hasn't actually been racing for a long period of time. Would it be 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, something like that. You know, the first years it was not so serious, but we did some local races, and then from 2018 it started to be more serious when we did the 85. We did some European rounds on the 85, and he did a good season. He got third on the European and Lockheed, and then last year he went to the 125s, but it was a tough year because he was still small, light, young, and now it's his second year, and he gained a lot of weight and length. So he got a lot stronger, and he got a lot faster. His confidence is getting better, and he had a really great season of the start. So um, he did it. He did it because he liked to do it and he wanted to do it. We had a bike for him when he was still, let's say, a baby, and we maybe in the beginning I pushed him a little bit in that way to try and ride the bike. But then at one point I didn't have to tell him. He just wanted to ride, and he was looking videos, movies. He knew everything from everybody. So the passion was there from a young age.
Maybe, as they say, racing is in your blood, and let's just take a look at this. Was a marvelous win at Medley Basin, the opening round of this year.
Liam Everts crossed the line by 24 seconds over Kevin Brumman to take his first European 125 Championship race win.
And probably even more special, Stefan, is Medley Basin was a terrific moment for you as well in your career. You really can't believe the coincidence, and it makes it even more exceptional for history. How was that moment for you and Harry and the family when Liam managed to pull that win?
Yeah, it was a great day. It was one of his first big successes that he had in his career now, and then he did it in Medley Basin. The week before, we did a local race, and he crashed in practice. No, he didn't crash. He hurt his leg, so we wasn't sure he could race. So we went to Medley and just hoping that he could start riding. So we didn't know what to expect, and then he did. We came back home with a big trophy and 2 moto wins, and he showed some great things there. I did my last big international race there with the nations against Stewart and all the rest, and Liam did basically the same what I did, what I did on my last GP at the end of my career, and his is just starting now. So it was I was quite impressed with his riding. He showed already some great things, even in Hoxton Park, where it was so muddy and rainy. He crashed and then he came back to P1. And I was lately he's been surprising me, and it's not that not that easy to surprise me.
It's wonderful. Just to wrap up, do you feel that you are in a better place given your health, and the connectedness of the sport, which has perhaps helped you in that process of recovery? How do you feel going into the rest of the months of the year?
Yeah, actually, we are really well prepared with everything. So yeah, we are just waiting what's going to happen now. I just really hope we can still do some racing and finish off the season, and maybe not the same like in the normal way, but at least in the best possible way with the whole Corona situation here in Europe. So yeah, now it's just to maintain is general fitness. We are not allowed to ride at any tracks here, so no riding. You can do a little bit of riding here in the garden with a free ride and a trials bike. So it's just a little bit, but it's not the same. So for the rest of the season, yeah, hard to say what to still to expect. So we have to wait and see what the coronavirus will bring us the next couple of weeks.
Well, my deepest thank you for your time. It's always a pleasure interviewing you, Stefan. You always share your thoughts freely and openly, and I think that's the best part of interviewing someone when they're open to the public and their fans. So I wish you all the best, and
Thank you.
I wish all your family, and let's hope we're back racing, and we can catch up at a GP soon.
All right. Take it easy.
Okay.
Greetings to everybody. Bye bye from
Thank you,
Belgium.
Stefan. Thank you.
Bye.
Ciao.